What if I told you that there's not only a framework to make drawing panels incredibly easily, but you'll be drawing your comics in your sleep and have a limitless supply of motivation to keep going, and all you had to do was ask one question? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you the 2 types of panels you need to consider, why this makes your drawings faster, and why this will fuel you to keep you going so that you can finish even the most ambitious comic projects. So what's the question that you need to ask? Why is the camera here? Seriously, that's it. If you don't figure out where the camera is going to be in your panel before you draw it, then it'll be like getting on a plane without knowing where that plane is going. You'll end up having to get on another plane and it'll cost you both time and money. But if you know where the camera is going to go, and more importantly, why it's going to go there, then you'll go straight to your destination. How many times have you drawn and redrawn your panel over and over again because it just doesn't feel right? That's you jumping on a plane without knowing where it's going. Luckily, there's a way to simplify this process. It's really easy to overcomplicate comics, but you don't have to. In fact, you shouldn't, because the more you overcomplicate the process, the worse your comic is going to turn out. There are only 2 types of panels that you need to consider. The first is the informational type, and the second is the emotional type. For the informational type, your primary goal is to share information with the reader. And the only 3 cameras you're going to need are the medium, the action, and the establishing cameras. And if these terms are confusing, I have a PDF called the Mad Web Framework, which you can get for free in the description. I really recommend downloading the PDF because it's a really beginner-friendly, easy resource to reference while you're making your comic. The medium camera is your default camera shot. If you're wanting to use another camera shot, but you cannot answer why that camera shot is there, then use the medium shot. For action shots, you can put the camera wherever you want, but make sure to focus on the action. If you're making a series of panels that is a fight scene and you want to put the camera all over the place, then that's fine as long as it's clear and people can see what's going on. If I can't tell what's going on in the panel, then it takes me out of the story. And the goal of the establishing shot is to answer the question the reader will have, which is, where am I? So start with a shot of the scene that your next chapter or episode is in, and you're golden. For the emotional type of panels, you want to use the camera to heighten the emotions that your characters are feeling. A side-on shot with a character shows a stoic resolution, whereas a close-up shot of a character's eyes could show fear or a sudden realization. A shot from above a character looking down could show triumph over a fallen foe, and a shot from below looking up at a staircase could turn an arbitrary action of walking up the stairs to feeling like climbing Mount Everest for your character. So when you're planning out your panels, think about its main function. Is it mostly informational or is it mostly emotional? And then choose the camera shot that is going to produce the most clarity. Like I discussed in this video, if you plan your comic panels, then you will draw your comic twice as fast as you normally would. Figuring out where the camera is going to go makes up about 80% of the work that you need to do. Because now what you need to do is dress the scene by adding in your characters, environments, and word balloons. And because you'll know why the camera is in the position it's in, you're much less likely to have to redraw those panels, which makes the entire process smoother, less stressful, and significantly faster. When I'm daydreaming, I start drawing my comic way in advance in my own head. And because I know what shots I want to use and why I want to use them using the Mad Web framework, it gets me really excited to get to those pages. And when I do get to those pages, I already know what they're going to look like, so making them becomes even easier. And even if I've forgotten what they're going to look like or decide to change my mind, it doesn't matter. That's not the point. What matters is that you feel good about what you're making and you're excited to get it done, because that's the thing that will fuel you and keep you going. But let's be honest, thinking about where the camera is going to be is only the start of the process. You've still got to actually draw this thing, right? And that takes ages. Or does it? Because there are ways to speed things up, and if you want to speed up your comic drawing process, watch this video next.